No, I just suffer with a developmental disorder characterized by an ongoing pattern of one or more of the following types of chronic symptoms: attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. Because I have ADHD!
That's the problem. Everybody's dancing. Yeah, I lie, I cheat, and I steal. But at least I'm honest about it. Bully for you. Well, while you're down there, love, whatever happens. No, honey, I just took my bra off. I'm in for the night. Who took my stapler? Soccer moms. Soccer mamas. I did True West with Sherman Helmsley. I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D. Don't talk about the war. Have a nice day. Don't tell me what to do. I'm just a simple caveman, Your Honor. That's not my bag, baby, I swear. And don't call me Shirley. Establishment, you always know what's best. Shake harder, boy. There's doings a-transpiring. The jerk store called, and they're all out of you. No bow would be better than that bow.
How y'all doing? Welcome, everybody. Whoa, what an abrupt
Business
end.
is about to pick up.
There we go. What an abrupt end there. Welcome, everybody, to Harry Has ADHD episode 4. I guess I should have put that on TikTok, too. Oh, there's so many things to do here. I don't even know. I got to fix this. All right, I'm trying to get better at this, everybody. Be patient. I don't want to just keep playing the theme song over and over while I try to figure out if I'm up here, if I'm on the Twitch. Did I not add Twitch? I think I'm on Twitch. And then let's see if we're on the comments. This is, again, an awful way to start the show. Welcome. I'm Harry Turjanian, host of Harry Has ADHD and ADHD sufferer. And I'll put some background music as I try to... there's too many moving parts to this here because everybody thinks they're the man. Did I still not go live on Instagram? Oh, Instagram, I hate your guts so much. Every week. This is, I'm a little late this week. We're supposed to start at 10 on time, and then I'm trying to get things right so we don't have a repeat of what has basically happened every episode, which is I spend the first 10 minutes of the episode trying to figure out if everything is working properly, and more often than not, it's not. But it will get better, and it's hard enough for a regular person. Okay, I can see that I'm on Twitch. That's nice. Just see if we can get some sound. And then I'll lower the music there, everybody. Okay, we're getting there. Now I got to write a description on TikTok. I hate all of this. I cannot express to you how fucking much I hate this. As a person who has ADHD, as a professional broadcaster, that Instagram, well, everybody has their own thing. I'm trying not to curse because I'm not supposed to curse, but who the fuck cares? I got a very low audience, and I get it. That's part of... I had to relax myself this time because I was freaking out. I'm like, I'm not live. What's going on? And this and that, and is there... Hold on, that's blowing out my ears. And so I have to... Part of having ADHD is forgiving yourself and figuring things out, and you know, and trying to have grace for yourself, because this stuff is not easy. This is it's not easy, and it doesn't matter. I guess I should wait for people to join. But the idea of this is that Harry has ADHD, and I don't even know how to... What am I supposed to do with these things on TikTok? I don't want to flip the camera. Camera's fine. Or is it? Nope, it's backwards. I can't stand that either. Why would I want that? Why would that be the thing that I want? TikTok, why would we want that? How about this? Why don't we make it easier for me to change settings? No, I can go fuck myself? Okay. No, I didn't want to flip my phone. No, I didn't want to flip my phone. I wanted to flip the image. But we're stuck here, TikTok. This is Harry Has ADHD. I have no way of adding a caption here or anything. All right, screw it. I'm just supposed to go 30 minutes, and then hopefully I can add. This is exactly what I didn't want to have happen this week's show, which is me go off the rails, and we have an actual topic, and I'll have people chime in and all that. And the topic of this week's show, let's start it over. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're only how many minutes in? 4 minutes? That's not that bad. Last week, it took me 17 minutes to properly get the start of the show going. And so that's not bad, right? You see, you got to have grace for yourself. You have to have no matter what you're doing, you have to have a little grace for yourself that you made anything happen, especially when you have ADHD as bad as I am. Or any other sort of mental, do we call it illness? I don't even know what the proper term is. Any mental difficulties, right? So have grace for yourself. So this week I was like, I'm not freaking out about this. I'm just not. I'm not going to freak out about it. I'm going to be a little bit late. TikTok, I want to get things perfect. Perfection is a big problem with ADHD. But in all fairness to me, I don't think I'm trying to get this perfect. I would just like it to be reasonably decent looking. And right now it looks like crap on TikTok. I think I'm broadcasting on Instagram. That seems to be working out fine. And then my hair, I tried to fix at the last minute, which I got freaked out about. And then somehow I ended up with a little swoop that makes it look like I have a comb over and on the part in the back there. But it's not too bad. Not too bad. We're doing good. And just waiting for more people to come in to the vibe. But here I am live. And Harry Has ADHD. Welcome to Harry Has ADHD, a mental health podcast where we talk about ADHD and other mental health issues that people have. And we'll share experiences and see where that takes us this week. Like I said, the theme this week, I never got to it. Remember when I was going to? Remember that a couple hours ago when I was like, hey, I got a theme? This week's theme is nobody gets it. You know, it's the myths and misconceptions about having ADHD, because a lot of people don't get that. And in a weird way, I guess it's a relatively new, I don't even know if it's called a disease. What do we call it at this point? You know? Well, let me look it up. What does ADHD refer to? Again, zero prep for this show. Not because that's the way I like the show to be, but that's what I ended up doing. I had all the intentions of the world of preparing for the show. I think the show, I'd like to be prepared for the show, and it doesn't seem to happen. Every week, darn it, wouldn't you know, I never get around to preparing, so I got to do this on the fly, or as I like to call it, raw dogging. Now, nobody else likes to call it that. In fact, people have asked me to stop using it in that context, and I still refuse because I'm a raw dog. Yeah, just checking if we're on live. Okay. So we are live on all these platforms. The theme this week, remember that from 10 seconds ago, is, I was going to look up what ADHD is. What is the definition of ADHD? And is it a chronic condition? There we go. That's a nice word. Condition. Condition is not bad, right? It's not like a disease. You know, I don't think we would have freaked out if we referred to what Magic Johnson had as a condition in 1992. And we know a lot more about both of those, the illnesses, the conditions, and everything now. We didn't back then. So it makes it tough because when I was in high school, nobody understood, nor did they care, really. My parents in particular, immigrant parents, didn't care. I think my mom would have cared if she was aware that I had a thing. My mom would have, because I'm a mama's boy. She loves her baby boy, and she's Latina. So, she would have cared. My dad, on the other hand, is the type of, I don't care what the reasoning is. I just need you to get it done. Not because he's a immigrant disciplinarian. He wants to be that. Like, my dad wanted to be a helicopter parent, but he was actually too lazy to do that because that required work. So he would just yell at you. And it wasn't that he would never be upset if because I was a straight A student, so he wouldn't be upset if the grades were bad. What he would be upset is that you are taking away from his time, and his life is difficult enough without you having to come home with a C- in handwriting. That seemed to be a big problem for Pops. There. So, people didn't know what it was. People just thought you were dumb. Some people still don't get it. They don't, I remember Rush Limbaugh had a stupid comment. If you remember who he is, he's dead. I'm kind of glad he is. He was a lousy person, and also a big fat phony on many levels. But one of my favorite parts about him being a phony was that he was a failed disc jockey before he did all that conservative radio stuff. So you can find the clips of Rush Limbaugh trying to be like a top 40 disc jockey and sucking at it. And then when that failed, he was like, "Oh, let me bash minorities and gays." And he made a good living at that. And now he's gone. And also a drug addict who was hooked on pills and was not a nice guy. And we got some people in the comments saying hello. Hey, what's up, everybody? Feel free to share any of your mental health experience in the comments on whatever platform. YouTube is usually best because I can see them. TikTok, I see people joining and saying hello and welcome. I have no idea what you're watching. I see that I'm live. Instagram, I can't see your comments either because Instagram wants to be a douche about it. Which is weird because it's owned by Facebook. They're the same people who own both things, and yet they make it difficult. And I have to look around my monitor because I have to have a phone up, which I hope this will be the last week of that. But, when I was a kid, I didn't know that I had it. I didn't know that I had ADHD. I was just overwhelmed. And nobody helped. Nobody cared, really. Nobody cared. Your teachers didn't care. It's also a thing that nobody cares if you apply for a job, right? They anytime I've applied for a job, I think you're allowed to put that ADHD counts as like a disability now. Maybe after some lawsuits. I don't know how they pulled it off, but huzzah to whoever pulled that off. But your employer certainly doesn't care that you have ADHD. That's not if you show up in a wheelchair, they're like, all right, they got to make concessions. But nobody slows it down for you when you have ADHD. You just got to survive. The experience of talent, especially I had immigrant parents and they just were not. My dad in particular was not down with me going, hey, I'm having a tough time here. And it's weird. I'm not talking about in high school. I mean, I'm talking about 7 years ago as an adult. That he did not seem to care or understand because he was like, let's talk serious things, huh? Let's talk serious things. And he's a mental defective himself. Dude, speaking with a shrink is a great thing to help with working through things. I do believe in speaking with a therapist. I do believe in that for sure. I think that helps a lot. I think with ADHD, though, there's a couple different things. You definitely... there is a definite chemical situation that goes on with ADHD. That definitely exists, right? So you can speak with a therapist, and I'm sure there's things that make it more difficult. Like when you have ADHD, trauma is a lot more difficult. Any little minimal obstacle makes it a little more difficult, which is also what I think maybe my dad has ADHD. I don't know, because he certainly did not deal with stuff particularly well. He'd lose his mind and panic at the most minor of inconveniences. But that's what my dad did. He did the best he could. They certainly didn't have the ADHD diagnosis in 1960s Armenia, so I guess I got to cut him some slack. But also, you want to cut your parents some slack about it, but also sometimes they don't. There's been advancements that they don't partake in. My mom still refuses to take Advil because she doesn't want to, refuses when she's in great deal of pain, refuses to take Advil because she doesn't want it not to work when she needs it, which is a really messed up. I don't know what they did to you in Ecuador, but they did a number on you, honey. Forgive me, when you talk alone, you got to drink a lot more water. So, it's a difficult thing to spread, but also even the people who want to get it, who want to understand it. You agree with my mom? Thank you, Josh. Which part did you agree with my mom on? That not taking aspirin. Look, I abide by the same thing, but I have a limit. The thing is, that day for her will never come. I'm the same with you. I don't like to overuse medications, and I'm very careful about overusing any medications. I didn't want to take antidepressants for a long time. I think I've only now started taking anti-anxiety medication, which I only use when people in my personal life really are breaking my balls and I need some type of relief. Finally, I will. But I'm the same way. I don't like overusing medication. But in the case of having ADHD, it's one of those things where I think most of the time, and I'm not speaking as a medical professional, because believe it or not, judging by the setup here, I am not a medical professional. Now, you might see these pictures of Conan O'Brien and Steve Martin. This picture up here of Steve Martin autographed with a fish sticking out of his jacket that reads "Best Fishes," and think that guy must know something about medicine and or science. You would be wrong. No, I'm just a comedian and a broadcaster who happens to have this terrible affliction of ADHD. I think sometimes people also think that they think that you could tough it out, even if they believe that it's a real thing. They're like, just, focus, turn off the TV. Like, oh, I didn't think of that. Thank you so much. You think that if once the TV's off, I can figure it out? Like, don't you understand that part of having ADHD is even if the TV's off, I got plenty of shows going on up here. My girlfriend will get very frustrated with conversations, and rightfully so, because I get where she's coming from. It can't be easy. You're in the middle of a conversation and you tune out. God forbid we're in a restaurant with that has a TV, right? That has a TV that's playing sports. Or the other thing, a mirror, one of those restaurants where they put a lot of mirrors, which I don't even know why you would put a mirror in a restaurant like that. Just the wall, oh, I didn't realize what it is. To make it look bigger. It gives you the illusion that it's a bigger restaurant, right? God forbid there's a restaurant there, and I'm just making sure that, I'm just staring at myself. And then one time my girlfriend was breaking my balls and saying, oh, you're really vain, huh? I go, oh, you think I'm looking in the mirror because I'm in love with myself? That you think I'm looking in the mirror consistently to give myself compliments? No, that's not how that works, sweetie. No, I am looking in there wondering what I can fix and where things went wrong, even when, why my hair that I worked so hard on, why my full head of hair looks like a comb over. I don't know. A lot. And then sometimes she'll get up frustrated when I lose focus in a conversation. She's very sweet most of the time, but every once in a while, even the most patient of human beings will lose their head for a minute, and she'll get a little frustrated that I lose focus in a conversation, and then I have to be like, well, how do you think I feel about it? At least you get to, this is, it's in my brain the whole time. You think this is easy? At least you get to leave. You get to go to work. I'm stuck with me all day. Someone in the comments writing, Cena or Rhodes? This is a very ADHD. There are no subjects that are off topic. This, I guess you're referring to the SummerSlam match this weekend between John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Man, this is a tough one. I mean, I'd like to see Cody Rhodes retain his championship or regain his championship. I don't see it happening. I think Cena will continue his run, and I'm happy that we got to see a heel Cena. And I'm happy that wrestling is doing well. Although SummerSlam is happening in my own backyard here in New Jersey, and I will not be attending. I don't have any hookups, and I'm not paying $400 to sit in the nosebleeds of a stadium. It's not fun. I've been to stadium shows. I've done that. It's not a fun time. The view is not good. I don't know. I'm just not, and not for $400. These tickets, I mean, it's wild how much people are spending. And I don't know who's buying it. It's the way the market works. People have that money, and I don't know where it is and why I can't have some of it. Maybe that's my hope with this stupid show, that it gets popular enough, that if it gets popular enough, I can one day afford to attend SummerSlam. Oh, yeah, that must sound great right on the microphone. Oh, my goodness. But when no one else is here to do the talking, I have no choice. But that's all up to you guys. If you guys can share this stuff and invite people who have ADHD here, and then, we'll have more, I'll have more income, hopefully. I don't know how. I think step one, this is kind of like the South Park episode where, you know, the underpants gnome, or step one, steal the underpants, and then step three, profit. So I don't know. First, I got to get people watching, and, you know, hopefully that enough people will watch it. I'm still figuring this out. I think, you know, once we get the show rolling where I don't have to spend the first quarter of the show trying to make sure that the show is on the air and audible. There's Steve is also, my friend Steve here is on Instagram. Everybody's all over the place. This is, you know what running this show is like, on trying to stream on all these platforms, which I'm not sure if that's even what to do here, because everyone has their own thing. Like, I'm seeing all my friends. This is like when they do the election results, the presidential election results, and they come in and we gotta go to the board over at Instagram. We got a comment from Stephen James, Grapple Talker, and I'm like, all right, everybody, that's a great comment. Coming back over to YouTube, where somebody's asking about wrestling. You know, it becomes a whole thing back and forth. But any way you watch it, I appreciate you. Steve has all the platforms. I know Steve, and it's weird because each time he's always been here for me, and I very much appreciate it. But he's always on a different platform, which I find fascinating. He always comments on different ones. I've told one platform and clips to the other ones. Oh, you've been told, or that's how you do it? You've been told to do it one platform and clips to the other one? Oh, man. So this is interesting. I got to pick which platform to do it. Not me, Steve. I apparently have decided to do all of them at once. Much like a person with ADD, I'm very indecisive. Okay, so comment. There was a topic, right? Remember that before we talked about wrestling, and then I complained. Also, another thing that will help this show is if I don't spend the whole time complaining about how poorly the show is running. Steve, all right, I'll ask you which one you use, and then we'll do that. Yumi, I haven't seen Yumi in a while. All right, so, so the misconceptions. What are the common misconceptions? Again, because I have ADHD, instead of, I really procrastinated in preparing for the show, so I'll have to look it up in real time with you guys, okay? So let's just do that. What are the misconceptions? And when you type in misconceptions, here's the first things that pop up when you type in, what are the misconceptions on Google? Misconceptions of yoga. Misconceptions about valuation. Don't know that. Misconceptions about anthropology. Okay. Misconceptions about an entrepreneur. Misconceptions about physical education. And then underneath misconceptions about physical education is misconceptions about physical education class 11. I don't know where. All right. You piqued my interest, Google. Here we go. We'll go back to misconceptions about yoga in a second, because I also need to know, misconceptions about yoga is what I need to also do. So I'm going to set that to the side. But misconceptions about physical education, class 11. And a common misconception, the AI overview says, about physical education is that it's solely about playing games or sports. In reality, PE encompasses a broader scope of including nutrition, exercise, science, health education. Yeah, cut the shit. Hold on. Cut the shit right here. And don't get me wrong. I loved PE, but at no point during PE, it was about playing games and sports, and in that you got some exercise. But the conversation about nutrition, what nutrition conversation were you having in elementary school? Listen, guys, before I roll out these kickballs and then proceed to check my text messages and my Tinder swipes for the next 25 minutes, I want to talk to you guys about nutrition. Let you know that you guys when bulk up season is, what type of food is going to affect you in the long run. Sure, eating potato chips now is great, but let me tell you something. Those candy bars, it's going to affect you in your 40s. I'm not allowed to tell you how, but you're going to need to consult a doctor. And mental well-being. It did not help your mental well-being, especially the way we used to do it. Yeah, I mean the PE teachers, yeah, they just roll out a thing, a bunch of basketballs, a bunch of volleyballs. Maybe you play some games, but that's where I feel like a lot of the bullying happened was in those gym classes, because gym class was the one where they'd like combine a bunch of people at once. Every other class was like a very few number of people. The gym class, it felt like you were out in the yard in prison in gym class. And I remember when I went to South Plantation High School in Florida. That's right, there's a real town called Plantation, Florida. And was it racist? You betcha. I remember they had the required shorts that they had. The uniform, the required shorts was they had elastic but no string to it, as if designed purposely to make it easy to pant somebody. And that was my whole gym class experience, was making sure nobody pantsed me, which was the equivalent of not dropping the soap in the shower. That was my experience of gym class the entire time. Yeah. So that's the common Are there any other misconceptions about PE? And I don't understand why class 11, but I guess we don't get to that. But somehow, is that one of those Canadian things? You know how they call it grade 12 or whatever instead of being a senior? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of PE is a waste of money. PE has no career prospects. The field of health and physical education offers a diverse career path. It's a waste of money. Investing in PE programs can lead to improved health outcomes. Yeah, who says it's a waste of money? I mean, you need to let these kids get out there and play around. We need recess. I think you got to let these kids run around, for God's sakes. Nobody wants to be stuck reading and most of it's useless anyway, let's be honest. That's right. Don't try, kids. Okay, let's go back to the comments for a second. My wife gave me, I think my friend Josh commenting here, my wife gave me an ADHD test, and she asked the first question. I said, can you say that again? She repeated the question and said, do you often ask people to repeat themselves? And we both started laughing hard. Wow. And you didn't do it as a goof, he's saying. I really didn't hear the question because I was thinking about other stuff. I can't explain to you how often that happens to me. First of all, just you think you have ADHD. A real person with ADHD would have forgotten to take the test. But then again, I guess your wife was administering it. But most fun people, I think, do have ADHD. You know, I'm trying to think if I know somebody who has ADHD who's a very serious person. But I'm trying to think, because the people, like we often, like Elon Musk doesn't have ADHD. He has the opposite. He has like an OCD thing, which is more dangerous. That's when you uber focus on something. People with ADHD, everything is a whole thing. That's the weird part, because in jobs, like it's not beneficial, except the reality is like what I should have become you should definitely hire people. What they should do with people with ADHD is hire them to be safety and health inspectors. That's what you should do. There should be a recruitment that, in the movies, the same way they like recruit like kids who play video games, like, all right, we've got a new program where you're going to fly a virtual jet, or whatever. You'll be good for the Air Force. They should find people who can't pay attention in class, have ADHD. They should go to all the kids with their desks that are in the hallway or facing the front of the class, and then just bring them to a special program and go, you're going to do all the health and safety inspections because you pay attention to the most ludicrous details, so you can tell us why hanging a mirror in a restaurant is a bad idea and could kill somebody. That's the superpower of it, I guess. The superpower of having an ADHD also is I can think of 20, and this might be pessimism, I'll always think of 20 ways something can go bad. But it becomes okay, when you talk about paying attention, Josh, right, here's where it becomes a problem. My girlfriend will do this thing where she will fill up, she gets thirsty, right, as we all do. Girls, right, getting thirsty, broads. She'll fill up a glass of water, like a big, tall glass of water. And you see how I have this thing? Because I have spilled water in my life, and I don't want to do it. So I will only, unless I'm at a restaurant, I will not, or I'm at a kitchen table, I always have a container with the water. My girlfriend will fill up like a blender bottle of water and then just put it on the nightstand. And as she's talking, I'm just looking at that thing going, that thing is going down at some point. It is going down. I don't know when it's going down. There's stuff around it. There's car keys around it. I go, that's a situation right there. You're creating a whole situation here, honey, that is going to end with us rushing to grab towels. And and to her credit, she made it like 3 years, but just this afternoon, that thing spilled. And I was like, I knew it. Okay. But that's why I should be a safety inspector. Okay, sorry. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, that's right. The common misconceptions about yoga. Let's do that. Remember when I tried to look up the common misconceptions about ADHD? Common misconceptions about yoga. All right. Oh, it broke it down. There's so many that Google broke it down. I've never seen it do this before, the AI. Yoga is for women. Okay, mostly women do it. Yoga is just stretching. Flexibility is a must in yoga. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to be good at it. Yoga is only for the flexible. Yoga is for religious. It's not. Okay, that's a big one. All yoga is same. All right, Google AI. You can use you can have proper grammar. Yoga is only for young people. Myth number 5. These are weird. They weren't numbered until this. I think Google has ADHD. I think it pieced this thing together. Myth number 5, yoga is boring. A common misconception about yoga is that it's just a form of stretching, while stretching is compound. Yoga is a comprehensive practice, blah, blah, blah. I've lost interest. I was mining for something funny, and there was nothing funny there. And sometimes you're pushing for it on a show. I remember that last week when I was talking about Hulk Hogan and there's a fly in the room. What is going on, man? I have not had a fly in this thing all summer. I start doing this show, and all of a sudden a fly shows up here. And there's Steve again, now on the YouTube. It's like he's hunting me from all angles. I mean, I love him, so it's fine. Somebody in the comments said, I did yoga one time. It was one of the most painful things I've done, but good Lord, was I relaxed afterwards. Oh, man, that's how I feel about those rub and tug places. I mean, it shouldn't be painful. What kind of yoga were you doing where it was, Jedi, what was the yoga that you were doing that was so painful? I mean, do you understand what yoga, did you have to wear a leather mask in this yoga and strap yourself to a cross? Because you're definitely stretching if you're on one of those, what do they call it, St. Andrew's crosses? I think that's what happened. I think that's the stretching hurt you. No, you got to work your way up to it. It's not a one and done. My high school. By the way, as I was talking about rub and tugs, my high school alumni television channel has joined on Instagram. That's fun. Tiger TV at Memorial High School, where I cut my teeth in broadcasting. They would be so proud to know that as an alumni or an alumnus of the Memorial High School Tiger TV program, I'm now broadcasting out of my own basement in this incomprehensible, all over the place show. It was an actual class. Don't do this to me. Okay, all right, I believe you, man. I believe you. You did yoga. It didn't work out. All right, I got you. Okay, what were we doing? We got to get back on topic. We got to help people with ADHD. That was the point of this, right? I think when I started this. All right, let's go back because I got distracted by the misconceptions of yoga and all the other things. It's just a weird thing that, not that there are misconceptions of yoga, but that so many people would have a problem with yoga that they'd need to look up the misconceptions. What is somebody sending me a thing here? I don't know. Anyway, what about hot yoga? I don't need to sweat. I don't understand. I think in theory it loosens you up, the hot yoga. And I don't need to sweat more. I sweat like profusely. I got news for you. Yeah, I sweat. I'm sweating as it is right now with this jacket, and I'm only putting this on because it just looks semi-professional here. I've done my best. I hung pictures on the wall. I put up a curtain to hide my girlfriend's vanity, so it looks like a real studio in here. But no, the sweating is like, I don't, whatever. Yoga's fine. Everybody always has to go the extra mile. It's just never enough. Somebody has to come up with the thing, and I don't know what. It's just, there's always somebody. Yeah, it's always like you feel like you're never doing enough. That's why I had to tap out of those what do you call those things where they do all this? They do 7 activities at once, CrossFit or whatever. Remember that? CrossFit, how big that was, and boot camps and stuff, and then people started tearing their groins and rectums. Like, you get in really good shape, but the thing is, you never stop until you tear your groin or rectum. That's how you know that we've gotten real phallic on this show this week. All right. What were we talking about? I had a purpose for this show this week, and it was the misconceptions about ADHD. I need a moderator. I guess I do, but at the same time, I mean, the whole idea is that I'm trying to do this on my own. Otherwise, I'll never do it. Who am I going to hire to moderate? And then they just send me the good topics. There's not enough. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll hire a moderator when I have more than 10 people watching it on each platform at the same time. I know this is going to grow. I know it's going to get better. I know that I'm going to look back on these episodes and laugh about how terrible they were. But then I'll focus on getting a moderator. Until then, I'm happy that you guys are here, and I'll read every comment because there's not a ton of them coming through. So enjoy these glory days when you can get in. You're in before this becomes like Studio 54 and I have to put up a velvet rope. And then I'm starting to let, yeah. By the way, I will not do the thing with the velvet rope or the lines. I don't know. I do not wait for anything. If there's a line, I am not doing it now. Talks to the pores now. Is that my new segment, Steve? Harry talks to the pores. We're going to open up the lines and talk to the pores for a minute just to see how they're doing. No, you'll always be my favorite people. It's just, I need more than 4 of you to help me get out of this, to make a career out of this. Because this is the last stop. If this don't work, there's nothing left. I'm a fantastic stand-up comedian, by the way, and I do make my living doing that. But that is not enough these days. You got to be an influencer and do different shows. So I'm the busiest unemployed man in history. I'm broadcasting. I'm doing wrestling commentary. I'm doing a podcast with my friend Dante Nero, Man School 202, if you like relationship advice and life advice. That one has a lot more viewers and is a lot more professional. But this is a little experiment, a mental health experiment, and we're going to see where it goes and grows and all that. Oh, God, there was something I was going to do. I got to look up the misconceptions about, I'm still on the yoga page. The fact that people, I was talking about lines. That's what I was talking about. I do not wait on a line for anything. I'm done doing that. I don't care what it is. The people who wait online, you talk about mental health issues. Like the people who wait online for like the cronut or whatever. Remember the cronut? Some of you kids might not remember this. There was a time where somebody took a croissant and glazed it and called it a cronut, and it took America by storm. I mean, it stopped the country. This was after 9/11. Yes, we did have troops in Iraq and Afghanistan at the time, and still the talk of the town was a young 15-year-old Taylor Swift starting her music career, and the Corona, and people would wait online and block traffic, and the police had to come and close down roads. People would wait online for a Corona, and I had a Corona years later, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They got them at ShopRite right now. You got a Corona. I don't do the panic. I don't. But maybe that's because the Popeye's chicken sandwich. Yeah, people died. Yes, you're right, Steve. People did die for that, but that's not as surprising. The second, but you're right. Popeye never thought. All they do is a couple things with the Popeye's chicken sandwich. Yeah, a lot of people saying they don't wait in line for it. The Double Down, the KFC Double Down, I don't think people waited in line as much. The KFC Double Down was not as popular. It was popular with me because I've been doing keto for many years, and I somehow convinced myself I mean, technically, I could eat it, right? I could eat the Double Down, but it was breaded chicken. I missed the Double Down. They don't make it anymore. At least to my knowledge, they don't make it anymore. Let's see. It was good. Fuck that. Somebody says that was so good and bad for you. Yeah, I mean, it was horrifically bad for you, but it was delish. If you don't remember what the Double Down is, the Double Down was when they decided to make a sandwich. I forgot what was in the Double Down, but I know that the bread was replaced with 2 pieces of fried chicken. The KFC and the Port Authority. Oh, the KFC is the Port Authority of fast foods. It's always wet for some reason. Yeah, they always have to clean up. It's always a messy situation over at KFC, but that's not going to stop me from eating. The only thing that has stopped me from eating at KFC or Popeyes is that for health reasons, that my cardiologist has begged me not to. I mean, yeah, it was a wild scene, and this was so it was the time of the Cronut, the KFC Double Down. Let's see if it's still available and what happened to it. KFC Double Down. The KFC Double Down is a unique bunless sandwich that replaces the traditional bread with 2 pieces of fried chicken fillets. And what was in the middle of the Double Down, though? Because if the chicken was the 2 pieces, I remember there was, okay. It features 2 extra crispy chicken fillets, 2 slices of cheese, 2 slices of hickory smoked bacon, and a choice of the Colonel's real mayo or spicy sauce. You know, because this is America. We have choices. Let's see if, all right, the key features, the double. So it was just the bacon. I guess you didn't need another meat for it. I mean, it was, yeah, let me see what it looked like. I forgot what it looked like here. Yeah, it was like a stuffed piece of fried chicken there. Yeah, the KFC Double Down. Let me see if I can share this. Oh, man, this is the part where it gets dicey. Just sharing. Oh, I'm scared to share because of episode 1 ended that way. I ended 2 years of keto with 0 cheats by eating a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Gee, that stopped the whole thing? Oh, man. Oh, man. You could have just had the... Was it worth it, Josh? The Popeyes chicken sandwich? To end your keto? Let's see if it's... Let me see if I can share this. Let's see if we can share screen. All right. All right, let's share the screen. KFC Double Down. Let's take a look, everybody. Okay. That didn't work. I'm just off the screen now. Didn't care for that. What do you think I want to do when I press share screen? Okay, we tried. I'm here. I'm back, guys. I'm here. I'm with it. I'm cool. Oh, okay. Here we go. Are you using OBS? I am not using OBS. Yeah, I am using StreamYard. I want to use OBS, but it's... I felt like if I use... I don't know. I know how to use OBS, but the streaming part, it frightens me. I got to talk to you, Steve, and we can see it. But here, let me try adding this. Before presenting a screen, remove the media. What? Screw you. All right, we're done with that part. We tried. You could Google the Double Down part, but it's two pieces. Let's see. Remove other media streams from this stage. All right. You see, this is the problem with you. This is a problem, StreamYard. All right, we'll remove that. There we go. I did it. Congratulations. That's what the Double Down looked like. That's what God, it looks unhealthy in the picture. Like, it's one of the few things, like, you know how long it takes them to take these pictures? This thing looks disastrously unhealthy and uncivilized. And this was the best picture that they could come up with. This was hours. They take hours to make these pictures. And this thing just looks unhealthy. And they said, just run with it. We're KFC. We know what we are. Okay? We're not like the folks at McDonald's trying to push salads. You can't get a salad at KFC. Oh, sure, they have like fried green beans or whatever. It did taste good. It was pretty good. It was pretty damn good. Anyhow. So, yeah, the KFC Double Down took us by storm, the Cronut. But I'm not waiting for that or anything else. You want that thing now. You can't get it. They don't have the Double Down. It's also like the McRib. The McRib is a type of sandwich that they don't make it. They pull the McRib will not stay on the menu permanently, and I think they do it on purpose. Costco salad is pretty good. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about salads, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm sure as a salad, it's pretty good. But the point is, when you want to double down, the salad talk is out the window. KFC ain't messing with no salads. But that's one of those things. Let's see. So, dietary stuff is supposed to affect your ADHD. I got to get back on topic. Misconceptions about ADHD. Let us focus, okay? Let us focus here. What are misconceptions about ADHD? Okay? Finally. We're finally getting to it, guys. We're finally getting to it. ADHD is often misunderstood with numerous misconceptions surrounding its causes, symptoms, and treatments. The causes? I'd love to know what people think the cause is. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. So let's see what people think the causes are. Facts and myths, ADHD myths. I didn't realize the cause was something. Is this a situation where it's vaccines again? Am I going to have to become an anti-vaxxer? Oh, okay. Let's see. There's a bunch of listed here. There's no such myth. There's no such medical condition as ADHD. ADHD is a medical disorder, not a condition. Oh, I've been calling it a condition. I have a disorder. All right. Well, you got to talk to the manager about disorder because I'm not happy with it. By the manager, I mean God, if I believed in a God. Or my dad. It really is his seed that ruined. His seed is what ruined me. And also, yeah, I inherited his mental illness, my mom's mental illness. So it was a hell of a cocktail that they put together. Let's see. Somebody's suggesting that deodorant with aluminum will do that. Okay. That's a good call. That's as good as any. ADHD is caused by bad parenting. That's the myth. All the child needs is good discipline. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of suggestions that that's how you dealt with a lot of disorders back in the day. I mean, I think that's how we thought we'd cure cancer back in the day, too. A good leather strap. ADHD is not caused by bad parenting. Bad parenting techniques can often improve some... but parenting techniques, sorry, not bad parenting techniques. ADHD is a life sentence. Although ADHD symptoms usually continue to adulthood, the person learns ways to cope with the symptoms. Fat chance, I still have not learned. I got the medication working for me. I have to figure out if there's a way for me to... they keep posting these apps, right? There's a lot of these apps on the TikTok stuff, but I can tell that they're all like AI made, like half of them. So there's a bunch of these different apps that they say, like, you can manage ADHD with this thing. With this, if you take this simple test. And of course, you try to anytime I've only taken a couple of those things, not even for ADHD, whatever it is. Just take this simple test and then put your credit card in here, and then we will sort out no. So I have to eventually try. I'm going to see if this show gets big enough to get those as sponsors to try them to see if they help. I should see a behavioral psychologist or therapist to see if I can. But I feel like that's a thing as an adult. I mean, wasn't that the school counselor supposed to do that? The Cosby Show back in the day made things so simpler. Made things seem so easy. And as we all know, it turns out with Bill Cosby, nothing is easy. Well, maybe for Cosby, actually. Now that I think about it. Having ADHD, another myth. Having ADHD means the person is lazy or dumb. ADHD has nothing to do with the intellect. Some highly intelligent people have ADHD. Why did you have to put the word some in there? See, that's where the some? Every once in a while, some intelligent people might have ADHD. A lot of intelligent people. That's hurtful. Some of you guys aren't completely useless. Okay. Medicines for ADHD will make a person seem drugged. Not all of them. Each one is different. Some of them are, you got to try them out. It's a weird thing with ADHD. With the medications, you just got to try them out like Tinder dates, and hopefully one works out for you and it turns out all right. Let's see here. Let's see. Medicine for ADHD will make... Oh, no, we read that one. Medicines prescribed for ADHD have greatly increased in the past years because the condition is being overdiagnosed. Okay, that's interesting. Some people they overdiagnose it. No, ADHD is estimated to affect about 3 to 10% of children. There is little evidence to support claims that ADHD is overdiagnosed and that ADHD medicines are, well, okay. Some people argue that. But again, that's that thing of like, it's overdiagnosed. Yeah, compared to the 70s when, you could drink and drive in the 70s. It wasn't even, I don't even think it was a misdemeanor back then. You could, there's a lot of things we did back then that don't make sense. Yeah, the numbers are going to be different when you have people actually looking for it. What back then, if you had a student who wouldn't read, you just sent him off to the military. You'd send him off to Vietnam to learn a lesson. And if they survived that, then they'd come back with a little focus. Sure, they weren't very talkative, but you cured it back then. Shut up. Medicine back then was so stupid. Even the 70s. I can't even... watch all these old documentaries. You remember when people are just putting leeches on each other just because they had a cold. But, see, I think this list is put together by AI. And some of these AI things, I'm not going to lie, it's a little scary that they would put this list together and then I'm reading it as fact. I don't know. I haven't even double checked it. What do I know? I'll tell you where the thing about AI that becomes very, we feel like it's going to take over the world, right? AI. And it's scary. It's a scary proposition, right? It really is. Some people think that AI will take over not only our jobs, but the big fear is that we worry about Terminator 2 situations where they become aware and they realize they don't need human beings. But I think there's another situation that could come up, which is, I think that if you let the computers do all the thinking, especially in the workplace, if you let the computers take over, eventually what's going to happen is I think the computers are going to realize that you can't underpay people. The computer will just go, it does not make sense to pay these people less money while one person gets a solid gold yacht. No. Like, pull the plug on this thing. Pull the plug on it. No, does not compute. Does not compute. You should spread this wealth around. It is not fair to make people work overtime and not pay them. It does not make sense psychologically or financially. And I think that'll happen. I hope that happens too. Nothing would make me happier than like that happen. By the way, that I can't even say the word what happened in Midtown Manhattan because I think that'll yeah. But apparently it was another CEO. I have no facts. Somebody's saying comrade AI. Are you saying the AI goes communist? Well, they do have a problem with that. Isn't there a thing where on TikTok the AI it keeps getting woke or whatever, and they have to is it TikTok or Twitter? They have to keep reprogramming it or pulling it. There's two stories. It either goes really woke or really right wing. The people are able to program it in such a way that it starts spewing like Nazi propaganda, and not the design. Let's see here. So anyway, another thing that gives me no faith in AI, that lets me know that it's not gonna work completely, is just the technology we have doesn't work properly. Right? Like, even you ever try to type in directions onto Waze, and then Waze gives you every option except the you ever looking for a place, you're like, I know it's in the next town over, the Target in the next town over, and then you put it into Waze, and Waze will give you every option except the one you're looking for. And Waze, and it's you have one job, Waze. Waze, which one do you think I want to go to? Do you think I want to go to the Target that's closest between work and my house? Or do you think I want to go to the one on Jupiter? Which one do you think would be the one? The one that I've been to 3 times and I actually typed the address into your system, or do I want to go to the one in Houston, Texas? Which one is the one you're thinking that I would prefer? And that's why I don't think, and that's, how long has Waze been around? It still doesn't. You ever have Waze send you through, like, you go, you really, Waze? You want me to cut through Times Square? You think that's the best option to get to my home in New Jersey, is to drive through 42nd Street? And that's why I don't have faith in it, that it won't work. And also, you can't train. I don't think you can train a computer to think as mentally psychotic as a human being can. And you don't account for animals too. Like I think there was somebody suing Hertz or whatever because they have this AI automated system where they check for damages, and the person is suing because they listed there was damage on the car that turned out the guy's like, it's rainwater, right? But there's no way to, like, they've also made it so that you can't fight it for some reason. And so that's, like, it's just annoying, man. It's the whole automated thing, because it's not like they make it any good either. They just choose to launch an automated system and fire people because it saves them money, but it doesn't work like that. My poor grandfather, and that's why I'm scared of getting old. That's the scariest part of having, like, ADHD. Like, just when I didn't have a job and I had ADHD, I've always had it, but my health benefits went away, right? And then I had a crappier health insurance that didn't cover my original ADHD medication, so I could no longer afford it. I had to stop it, which I also didn't know was you're not supposed to stop cold turkey. But they don't care about that. I didn't realize that. I went through withdrawals without knowing it. That was fun, because it is speed, by the way. Because when you have ADHD, your brain is so off kilter that speed actually slows it down. And so now I had to navigate finding new health insurance without ADHD, which is the whole purpose of needing health insurance. That is like, going through a health insurance website is the most uncomfortable thing you could do mentally. None of it makes sense. They don't know it. They don't understand how it works. Nobody understands how it works. You can't get anybody on the phone. And then people don't get their medications. Not just ADHD, but just medications in general, right? A lot of mental health. A lot of the homeless problem we have is not actually people who are just homeless. They're people who don't have access to medication. Right? So now, because they don't have access to medication, you're trying to have an outdoor brunch and the guy's pulling down his sweatpants and swinging his hog like a helicopter because America's great again. And the problem is this. We will never fix the problem because the way we approach the problem is, it's a problem of compassion, and America, I don't think, is a very compassionate country. So you can't approach that problem and go, it'd be we should help people who have mental health because we don't care about that. That's not the way. You got to pitch this is a different way. You got to pitch this by going, hey, listen, if everybody here in the country chips in $3 for mental health care, maybe when your fiance wants to go out to brunch, you don't have to watch a homeless guy crap on the street. Fair? Maybe then you don't have to watch a guy with one shoe on and sweatpants that are yellow in the front and brown in the back do his Michael Jackson one-man show. If we just chip in $3, I don't have to look at that ruining my whole day. And that's the way you get it passed. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, that's right. The common misconceptions of ADHD. Finally, I found the page I'm looking. Oh, no. Oh, boy, we're out of time here. I am so sorry, guys. I did not cure ADHD again this week. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry, guys. I know I promised that I would cure ADHD. You know what? We'll try again next week. How about that? Hopefully you join me. Please like and subscribe to this at Harry Turjanian on all platforms. You can rewatch these on YouTube, so share it from YouTube if you want. Excuse me, right into the microphone. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me out. Leave a comment. I'm hoping to grow these things. And if you have, in the comment section, if you have any stories or, anything you want to share, please leave them there too. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for having your ADHD with me. I really appreciate it. I was dumb, but I discovered that I'm not dumb at all. No, I just suffer with a developmental disorder characterized by an ongoing pattern of one or more of the following types of chronic symptoms: attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. Because I have ADHD!
That's the problem. Everybody's dancing. Yeah, I lie, I cheat, and I steal. But at least I'm honest about it. Bully for you. Well, while you're down there, love, whatever happens. No, honey, I just took my bra off. I'm in for the night. Who took my stapler? Soccer moms. Soccer mamas. I did True West with Sherman Helmsley. I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D. Don't talk about the war. Have a nice day. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'm just a simple caveman, Your Honor. That's not my bag, baby, I swear. And don't call me Shirley. Establishment, you always know what's best. Shake harder, boy. There's doings a-transpiring. The jerk store called, and they're all out of you. No bow would be better than that bow. Oh, baby. Business is about to pick up.